back at it again. As you can see, I've done some body work to the Fender. Right now this is all fill. You can see my sealer and stuff underneath there. Popped through in a couple spots. That's how you know when to stop sanding, or you tap those down, whichever works for you, however it's supposed to be, how you need it. Anyway, this is roughed in pretty good, getting close to primer. I'll probably put another sealer on there to get rid of these bare spots, and then I'm gonna put like a slick sand fill on there, fill primer. But there's a few things I still gotta do. I still gotta sand some of this out. I still gotta do the bottom edges down here. And what I'm working on right now is this back edge. I was not happy with the way this came around because remember this body line is original and it comes around and it disappears. But since I added the valance with a line in it, this has to come out like that. Well, instead of stretching everything all out of place, I decided to cut that and replace it with a piece of steel. And this is 1/8 inch stock, so this is pretty heavy, but it'll create my lip, you know, as you can kind of see. So I'm gonna put this in about like that, right? And that'll give me a nice arc for that back fender, because it kind of goes flat. It kind of goes flat right through here, probably where I added in a couple inches. Flattened out. It's a little curved, flat and curved. So I'm gonna curve it like that. Maybe not quite that much, but close. And then I'll do the same thing to the other side. Now I'm just bending this piece of steel in my vise. You know, you can take it and you can bend it however you want to do it, this way or whatever. But you can also open up the jaws like that. Hold it like that. And take your hammer and hit it in here, and that'll slightly curve it. Just kind of do it nicely, and that'll give you a really nice curve. So, all right, I'm going to continue on, and I will show you what that's like when I get there. So here's what that looks like. I took that piece of metal, that steel, that 1/8 inch steel, I put it in here, had it curved around, butted it in here. And then I took the fender and I pulled it to the back of this, or very close, and welded it here. So this will be my body line. I had a problem right here, and I started welding on there, just started blowing holes. So I cut a chunk out, put a piece in, and did it like that. So now it's just a matter of getting that fine-tuned, which would be no big deal. I'm gonna seal all this stuff up before I start body work on it. I also had cut this edge to move this up a little bit and welded it. That way this dimension, I'm measuring off of the box to here on each side. So now this is about right here. This edge needs to be cut, straightened out a little bit. See, it's a little crooked. It just needs to be straightened out just a hair here. And then the other side I haven't done yet, but this is where I'm at here. So sealer, maybe a little fill to kind of rough it in. Then I will be aiming at doing the whole thing in prime fill. Right now it's all in 36 grit. You can see the sand scratches. I got to put it into 80. That's what I'll do. So there you go. But that is the way it's going to look. Now it's got a nice curve. Well, I went ahead and primer sealed the fender. That really wasn't my intention. My intention was just to spot prime the areas that were steel, and I was going to spot prime some of them that came through just for extra protection. My problem is I always overmix, so I end up just kind of shooting the whole fender. It's a waste, really, but that's what I did because I didn't have anything else to paint. So Anyway, this is the way that comes around. I don't know if you can kind of see that. You know, you're gonna see a little of the rough weld and stuff, but you know, this is gonna be kind of coming around like that. You can kind of get an idea on how that fender flows around now. That's my whole goal was that. So now is what I can do is I can use my fillers and things in here to shape and form that, you know, to get rid of some of the stuff, because this is kind of low right through here. I can get that curve in there, or the contour here, nice. So that's what I intend on doing. I think that's where I'm going to go for right now, and then I'm going to move on to priming here in a second. So, but that's where it is now. Did the primer on the fender, so now you can kind of get an idea what the fender is going to look like. It's not perfect. It's got a few little things here and there, and that's okay. This is a primer filler that I used, but this is how the body line comes around now. Comes around and goes into there, into the rear valance. So gives you a good idea on what it's going to look like there. Some products that I used. I actually used a Evercoat Slick Sand for my primer filler. I used to use, or I have used the PPG K-Series primer, K36, K38. But I decided to try this. I think it turned out pretty good. I think it's pretty heavy. A lot of the imperfections will come right out now that by just blocking it out. I'll have a few little things that I have to do yet just to straighten it up just a bit, but for the most part, that's pretty good. So there we go, and that'll be the end of this fender. So now I got the worst fender on the whole truck looking the best, and that's the idea. All right.